Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Not even the death of Pope Francis could bring Donald Trump, your president, to make nice and ride along with Joe Biden. Nah, family just couldn't bring himself to do it. He refused to give Joe Biden a ride on Air Force One to the Pope's funeral. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, they're enemies, he ain't supposed to be giving them a ride. Well, George W. Bush, he did it when he allowed his daddy to ride with him on Air Force One to Pope John Paul II's funeral. And I know what you're saying, well, that's his dad. Well, what about the fact that he also allowed Bill Clinton to ride with him? Yeah, man, that was 2005. Here we are 20 years later, and it appears that we continue to go backwards. How many times have I told you guys, societies are supposed to go forward, not backwards. This particular society we live in America, goes backwards daily. But wait, there's more. The Vatican kindly requested that everyone wear black. Yeah. Guess what Trump did? He didn't wear black. This dude wore a clown suit. Yeah, he wore blue. I'm calling it a clown suit because only a clown would walk into a funeral wearing something totally different when the people who are organizing the funeral requested something different. This guy continues to embarrass America at every turn. There's nothing dignitary about him. This dude he's unfit. He's just unfit for leadership. I know what some of y'all saying, well, he ain't that unfit. He was voted for by the people. By what people? And what type of people? Like, you gotta really think about that. See, I know what you're thinking, some of y'all. Well, Kamala wouldn't have done any different. Kamala is not the president, first and foremost. So when you hear me talking about the president, I talk about the president because the president is running the country, or supposed to be running the country. Now, I talk about Trump more often because, quite simply, I see right through him. The thing is, a lot of people say they like Trump because he's straight up, he's authentic, he tell you what's on his mind. That's a lie. Trump is a racist, but he just can't bring himself to say it. He won't bring himself to admit it. But you ain't got to watch what he say, watch what he do. Just watch what he do. Watch how he goes out of his way to knock down policy and initiatives that were put in place to help black folks. He even talks about canceling Martin Luther King's birthday holiday. How does that help make America great again? He makes a lot of symbolic gestures. You know how some people are on the internet and they always got something slick to say when it comes to black business? They only talk tough when it's something that black folks are passionate about, something that black folks are defending, or something that black folks are supporting, and they just hate anything that puts a smile on a black person's face. And they love anything that causes black people stress, pain. See, Trump and many of his supporters, they're worried about the wrong thing. Like, how about you worry about some jobs, How come y'all ain't talking about jobs? How come you're not talking about education? How come we're not talking about the climate? How come we're not talking about family, right? Community, things that matter. They over here get mad about the Super Bowl halftime performance. They get mad about Kobe Bryant's legacy. They're mad about, what's the girl name? Caitlin Clark. They're mad about Caitlin Clark's rival, Angel Reese. Anything got to do with Angel Reese, they got something slick to say. They're mad about symbolic things that don't move the needle, things that really just don't matter. But that hate is so strong, they can't help but say something about it. They can't help but be consumed with it. Yeah. Donald Trump is a slowpoke. He flew all the way over on the other side of the pond just to be disrespectful. And you know he did it out of spite. He's the president of the United States. If he got there and saw every damn body in black, he could have snapped his finger and said, yo, man, give me a black suit. Give me a black suit. What am I doing? You got me looking crazy. You know? He got so much protection, he could have had one of those guys to take their suit off and give it to him. But he didn't do that because he wanted to be disrespectful. He went out of his way to be disrespectful. The disrespect in this administration is so bad, and others too. Don't get me wrong. Now, there's been a lot of disrespect all the way around. Congress is just disrespectful. The whole Supreme Court, everything is all disrespectful. But the disrespect is so strong with this so-called leadership in America, I don't know if we will ever recover. I know it won't happen in my lifetime. It might take 200-300 years to undo this stuff. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.